I just got back from a successful urbex travel in the America. This second international urbex trip crossed 5 states, takes 27 days, and filmed surreal places where past and present coexist. I visited various locations such as power plant and sanatorium. In this journey, I was able to document the people of the past who are inseparable from abandoned and neglected buildings, and the stories that those buildings boldly tell. Especially on this covered over 4,823 miles journey, I was fortunate enough to explore valuable assets that were either under threat of demolition, were already in the process of being demolished, and were on the verge of being forever gone. These are time capsules that you'll never see in Korea, where abandoned buildings are demolished very quickly and old architecture preservation is avoided. And they definitely were worth making into reality after longing for many years. Definitely these episodes will be incomparably more stunning than the Korea Urbex episodes that may be a bit tacky on this channel, and will be releasing a little by little over the next few months. I hope you don't miss them and enjoy it. In 1953, after armistice that triggered the Korean War by North Korea's invasion, all that was left were countless refugees and orphans. These children had no choice but to live on the streets, and the government at the time had an urgent task to resolve this problem, but it lacked the funds and capabilities. In the process, some philanthropists even used their own money to establish orphanages. This episode is also part of their legacy, and it is fortunate that it survived thanks to located deep in the woods and still tells us about the gloomy life of the 1950s to this day. A founder was able to complete and operate this place with the support of the US Army. In the European chalet style, this orphanage shares the trace of the America and Korea's tragic war history, and is still forgotten and decaying. Now join me as I trip into the 1950s and see what remains inside. Now I'm making my one bridge to cross this stream. Gotta cross this stream to get into the deep in the woods. I was heading to, but there was no bridge nearby. So this is way which we start off. This may take me inside that pastoral house. European style abandoned orphanage is very rare in this country, so this episode will definitely gonna be unique on my channel. In fact, due to the long period of invasion and war, there are few old buildings left, and Korea considers real estate as the top priority for asset accumulation more than any other country. So all the buildings are really able to defeat demolition. In that sense, I guess these deep woods made these orphanages remain. And you could see These footprints most likely forestry workers, but I'm worried about that. I hope there aren't kids or vandals there. The weather is very chilly, but we may have to walk a few more miles. Now we arrived. I love big trees like this. I bet this was planted by a founder and has been watching over this place for about 5 decades. Dang, take a look, it's collapsing half away. Could you imagine children who have lost their families playing in this courtyard back in the day? That's pretty surreal to imagine. The fact that a European-style orphanage was built out of nowhere in an Asian country in the middle of chaos right after the war may make you wonder. The answer can be found in the founder. She intended to instill in children who had lost their families in the war a sense of psychological stability and self-esteem by accommodating them in European-style homes which were a symbol of wealth at the time. Built with her own money and supported from the US Army, these orphanages operated from 1956 to 1969 and has been sleeping deep in the woods ever since, and nature slowly takes over it. This is the main gate, but can't inside through this door due to a ton of debris, because it's been too many years forgotten. But you're gonna see these two pillars still holding their shape. There's a few cracks, but has lasted for 50 years. Look at the little stairs here. Look at that. There's a gravel inside. The plaster of the wall. This is one of the construction methods. It is hard to find these days. Here could have been a wall, but for some reason it disappeared. Alright, let's see what's going on inside. You could see this vine, Kinderheiterombea. Oh, there's a lot of decay here. Crumbling father of hallways, looks like Hudson River State Hospital. Floor is very sketchy. This wall beyond saving it. The two beautiful arch windows were integrated and collapsing all the way down. So amazing to see this. Man, I love the look of this wooden ceiling work. So imposing. The wooden ceiling had just given out in that spot. Nice collapsed in here. This building's gonna have to be demolished, I hate to say it though. I mean, the pillar was intact, but it's not even that, it's past saving already. In the 1950s photo, the roof was covered with roof tiles, but as you can see, now it has been changed to slate roof. I have no idea why though. I think that change makes this orphanage just a little shabby. If it had roof tiles, it would have been looks pretty nice. This room pretty much more pristine than other one. Look at that top arch window frames. The window glass is still up there. Got a lot of debris. It's pretty gutted. It's like half taken apart. Here are some hints still left behind that tell us how cozy this room was for orphans who had lost their families and homes. And you could see that tree. There is a native Korean shrub called the Korean box tree, and it's grow very slowly, growing only about a feet every 5 years. Given its size, it is probably dying for at least over 5 decades. Got a toilet for a child, so this room could have been a bathroom. It's frozen and stuck on the ground. For a really retro relic, I mean, pretty unique shape. rusted ceiling. Oh, take a look at that. You can see traces of the wooden box used by the US military in the 1950s to store military supplies. It's just a time capsule. I can appreciate the history of Korea goes beyond what we find in the textbook. There's so much history stuck in this place. It's bad shape. Ceiling was collapsed half away. And you could see the original knob leading to the attic. I'm gonna try to find that cottage that are still in good shape. Let's do a little bit of time travel again. A chimney that seems to have served some sort of boiler function. This place has long since been completely taken over by nature, but only the little bit of sear screen paint remains. Completely destroyed, become nothing. Got an original roof tile here that was on the roof back in the day. Let me head inside to see if anything. Ceiling was made out for paper boxes. That looks cool straight ahead. The amount of debris all the way on the floor. Wow, I just found the traditional Korean furnace. A large pot would have been attached to the circular fire pit, which would have been responsible for the meals for many children. Can't even imagine this furnace and its frying. This is so rare to find these days. This cottage is so messed up, but I do appreciate the little details on this wall. You could see the original old graffiti which kids have craved. I mean, kind of like the kids are teasing each other, I guess. Floor are kind of not very sound. Nature dilapidated a whole bunch of stuff from the ceiling to the floor. Everything is same. What was noticeable is that it's not filled with maniacs and vandals, just ain't-gotten vandals. You can only see the natural decay without vandalism. It's definitely cool that there's no spray graffiti containing insults. What amazing. That I was always wanted the most. What's the noise? It's kind of animals. We have a Korean homework graffiti. It seems that they are often studied by doodling on the walls because paper was precious back in 1950s. Already. This is a list of words with opposite meanings. Agreement, disagreement, already, yet, reason, result. Boy, girl, announce, secret. Vacation, new school term, foreign country, motherland. The rest is hard to figure out what it means. It's kind of like toilet, maybe. I continued snooping around through the courtyard.
And I'm gonna pop into the modern building. It looks like at one point in time they built it to replace an aging cottage after 1969. Got a nest. Let's do a quick pan of this room. It's pretty sketchy. But the rest is concrete, so it looks structurally sound, so you don't have to worry about floor caved in. Got a bunch of couch left behind. Cabinets are just empty. Here we are on the 2nd floor. This might be the kitchen. Because the separated space in the serving table remain. Not much going on in this building, but we have a view at the entire first cottage with snowy courtyard. Now sun's going down, I gotta move fast. You could tell another small building above the stream, but completely gone except for the foundation. Its mother nature is hugging the building, but I'm grateful to document before gone forever. So today, I did my job. Alright everybody, time to bring down the curtain. Today was a really freezing day, but it was a place worth a challenge. It was a long walk in the middle of woods though. It made this abandoned orphanage intact from vandals, and I'm very thankful that only nature could reclaiming and I was able to document it. And it was also a time capsule that collects modern and contemporary through the 1950s era history of the Korea and America in one place. So I hope you guys enjoyed it enough, and until next episode, have a good time. Peace out. Apparently, the founder is still running the foundation, but there are no plans to reuse this orphanage property. Hopefully in the near future, it will no longer be forgotten, but designated as modern cultural heritage and used for historical education.